To start, Levana, can you tell us, our audience, what do you do?
I am a physiotherapist. Should I go into more detail or?
Yeah, what is it? Tell us all about it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. Good interview.
Yeah. So what a physiotherapist does is they help people with maximizing their mobility and physical function after an injury or illness or disability. And we mainly do this through exercise and movement and something called manual therapy and a whole lot of education. So I work 2 different places with my job as a physiotherapist, and private practice and public practice. And that's kind of what a physio is in a nutshell and what I do.
Does it mean there needs to be an injury before? Or is it also for like super athletes, who want to optimize their performance?
Point that you brought up. No, it doesn't have to have, you don't have to have an injury before to see a physio. There's a lot more focus now going into prehab and the role of a physiotherapist in health prevention and injury prevention and disability prevention. So that's actually a really big part of what physio is as well, is to help people not get any worse than they currently are, or to get them better from where they currently are.
Yeah, because I didn't know the word physiotherapist before. It's only after something happens to you that you look for the specialist. Mm-hmm. I don't know, like what is, like, how do people who want to do the prehab find you? Like, is there some education? Like, hey, you should go visit a physiotherapist before something happens to you? Because I have never been a witness to such a messaging.
Yeah, and usually, people don't really find out about us or see us until something happens. So this prevention message usually happens after we see them the first time. If you're going to be working or doing something that's going to make you prone to injury, like say if you're a high-end athlete, then they probably have a physio to start with them during their training from the get-go in the beginning so that they don't get injuries during their performance. But for the general public, I would say most of the time, you don't see a physio for preventative measures till after something happens. So like a prime example is myself is I have neck pain. And I never really saw a physio beforehand. And then once I had a really bad flare-up, I went and saw a physio. And then after, just to keep it from coming back again, because I knew that there were triggers at work that would get it. And what I did for sports outside of work would trigger it. So I saw it for preventative sake, even though I wasn't in a lot of pain, and just to kind of keep on top of things so it wouldn't get worse.
Mm-hmm. And there's also a lot of preventative measures that people can do at home. I also have a lot of neck pain. I think it's the side effect of working in an office 9-to-5 job that just type away on the computer. Mm-hmm. A while ago, my coworker was suggesting me to buy this tensed machine, which is kind of like electrocutes your muscles. Is there any difference between when people go to see a physio versus like they're at home trying to fix themselves?
And so I guess, people do exercise and they engage in some sort of a stretching routine to kind of prevent injuries from happening. Mm-hmm. And so the role for when a physio could come in is if you're just wanting more guidance that's more specific, because you can read a bunch of things and go and watch YouTube videos on how to strengthen certain muscles. But where a physio would be handy is they can actually look at you, do an assessment to see, where are the actual weaknesses? Can we target things a little bit more specifically? Especially if you're doing those routines preventatively on your own and you're not really noticing a difference.